What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video, and I just finished watching Batman Cape Crusader on Amazon Prime Video, and I just wanted to give my thoughts. This show came out on the 1st. Honestly, I did not know the show came out at all until I saw a bunch of people talk about it on Twitter, but the marketing for this show has not been the best because I didn't hear anything about it. I knew it was coming out. I had no idea when it was coming out. So, like, I had no idea it came out. And so, when everybody started talking about it, I decided to hop on and started watching it. And I just binge watched the entire season in one go. This show is spectacular, okay? It's everything you wanted in a Batman animated show. If you love Batman the animated series, it's produced by the same person, Bruce Timm. You can see the effects everywhere throughout the show. It is literally like if you want a successor to Batman the animated series with its own spin on certain characters, stuff like that, it is that for you. It is perfect. I cannot wait for season 2 to drop. This is so good. Like, thinking about it, it's so many like different characters. They change up different villains and stuff like that, and it's spectacular. The only complaint people have been having about this show that angers me is they think this show is woke because they gender swap certain characters, or there's like a lesbian relationship in the character. But before we get into that, this show, to give you the premise, it's basically a new take on Batman, where it's like he's based in like the 1940s or something like that. It's like a neo-noir, and it's basically like, you know, Batman Year One type thing. I mean, he has like the original Batman costume with like the gloves and stuff like that, and the weird pointy ears and stuff like that, where he doesn't glide, he just grapples everywhere, just like in the animated series and stuff. And so it's so cool. This show is so good because it does better than what certain movies can. It shows his detective side. Like, he investigates, he gathers evidence, he goes searching and stuff like that. He doesn't just automatically know I have a backup plan for everything. And I think it's so cool. It shows like the smarts, it shows like the adaptability of Batman and stuff like that. And then the villains are cool. Like, I like what they did with the certain villains and stuff like that. I watched a preview like a while ago, but I completely forgot about it. So I didn't know half the villains that was in here. And each episode, basically, there's a different villain, and some villains are built up throughout the season. So it's like, you will know, like, when certain characters show up, you would know, like, okay, this one is going to turn out to be this villain, and this villain is, and then when you hear the name of another character, you're like, oh, he's going to turn out to be this. My only surprise was, this is going to be no spoilers, a certain character shows up, but they don't turn out to be the villain. And it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. They kind of just, they name dropped him, and then it was like, oh, that's it. Like, he's not in the show anymore. It's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. They caught me off guard. But with every other situation, it's like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing with here. And it eventually leads to that, and I love the new twist and stuff like that. This isn't a spoiler because it was in the trailer, but my favorite villain episode was actually episode 2 with Clayface, because he is such a, I would say a horror episode, but it's like body horror, if that makes sense. Like, it's so cool, like when Clayface gets punched in the face, and like the markings of a hand is like molded into his face, and like you just see, when he stands up, you just see his glowing like glasses because he's impersonating someone, and it's like, yo, like, this is fire. Like, what is this? This is great. The lighting, well, not the lighting because it's an animation, but like how would you say, the animation, cinematography or whatever is so good. Like, it's so many shots of Batman where it's like you don't see it. It's like the animated series where it's like he's just a shadowy figure, and you see just Batman with the white eyes. It's the only thing you see. That is so gas. It's like, yo, like, there's a scene where there's a car chase and someone's in trouble, and like Batman saves the person with the Batmobile. And so he pulls up to the victim, and you don't see Batman. You just see the shadowy figure of Batman with his glowing eyes. He just nods and drives off. I was like, yo, that is cool as fuck. And there's another one where he's in a fight with a bunch of gunmen, and like you just see like the side of a building, and you see like the muzzle flashes from the guns, and you see him like punching different people, and it's so cool. It's like, this is dope. When he's like creeping around the shadows, or there's one where there's so many different scenes where it's like, this is so cool. Like, this is what I wanted Batman. This is so fire. But it was like a lady was looking for evidence or whatever, and she's in a room all by herself. And then when she turns around, you see Batman was behind her the entire time. And then when she searched around, he like moves out the way at the last second. It's like so fucking cool. Like this change of perspective, and you see Batman's been standing there the entire time. It's like, you wouldn't know if you wasn't like, you know, the camera from like the third person point of view. It's like, that's so dope. That's so dope. I love stuff like that. That whole Batman ninja type thing. He does it all the time when he's talking to someone, that he just disappears, because there's 2 Gordons in this show. It's Jim Gordon, and it's his daughter Barbara, and he does the same thing to both of them, where like they'll just talk to him and he'll just fucking disappear, and it is the coolest shit. It's always cool. Batman is so cool. Like you can't mess up Batman. You know what I mean? If you mess up Batman, you really gotta mess up Batman. You know, that's why everybody has gripes with DC EU, well, that whole thing. But Batman, when he hits like crack rock. You know, this is why he's one of the best. You know, it's cool. Like obviously, in this whole resurgence of animated cartoon, animated superhero stuff, X-Men '97, Batman Cape Crusader, My Adventure with Superman, stuff like that. It's like, I love this. This is bringing me back to me as a child. This is like, okay, I love these different characters getting their own, you know what I mean? Like, it just brings me back to like the early 2000s, 90s type stuff. It's great. Another thing I like how all the characters have like their own little story arcs, or like their own little storylines and stuff, and it's great because you can see like certain characters like progress and stuff like that, or certain characters change, and it's just so cool. And the layers of certain characters, and like the relationships between like Batman and Alfred, and like the Gordons, how their relationship is interacting due to their jobs and stuff. So it's super cool. And what I was talking about earlier with the whole, people are complaining about this show is woke and there's DEI. It's so stupid because it literally does not, it fits in the story. It fits with what they were trying to do. And it's cool. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like something, oh my God, like, how dare you have these two women kiss? It's so unrealistic. It's a fucking cartoon about Batman. What are we doing here? It's always some cornballs. It's like, bro, no one can watch anything. If you're not a white man, it's just like, bro, what are you doing here? You didn't exist back then. What the fuck? It's like, bro, you just saw someone that pretended to be a penguin with an umbrella beat up Batman for like 10 minutes. What are we talking about here? What? It's like, it's ridiculous, okay? And it works. Like, it works in the universe. It's so cool seeing like different adaptations of similar characters and how they changed it and how it worked. Like Clayface, his would stick more to like, you know, the original, but then you have the Penguin where they changed it, and Harley Quinn when they changed it. And I really like what they did with Harley Quinn, whereas like usually the Harley Quinn story is like, you need these certain events to happen for her to turn to Harley Quinn. They don't really do that. They take a new direction, and I love that entirely because it doesn't expect, it like changes your perspective. It like subverts your expectation in a good way, where it's like, oh, this is nice, I like how they did this. It's kind of like in the Batman Telltale series where they took Vicky Vale and made her into Lady Arkham. It's like, oh, that is dope. Like, I wasn't expecting that because I'm a Batman fan, where, oh, these characters are always XYZ, or they always end up this way due to XYZ, and it was different. But with other characters, they stay the same to like the comic accurate, you know, way and stuff like that. I think it's dope to switch things up every now and again, to spice things up, because if you tell like the Scarecrow origin story 1,000 times the same way, people gonna get bored of it. Like, oh, Batman, we know they got killed in the alley. Like, we get it. But you know, if you have Batman origin story the same, but Robin's origin story is a little bit different, it spices things up. It's okay. I wasn't expecting that. I enjoy that. I think that's cool. I highly recommend this show. Each episode is like 25 minutes, so you could kind of binge watch the entire season in like an afternoon. It's not really that much to watch. It's like 10 episodes, I believe, and each of them is like some of them are like the villain of the week, where it's like there's different villains, but there's like a core storyline through all of it, like the corruption of Gotham and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed it. If you're a fan of Batman the animated series, Batman Beyond, that type of, you know what I mean, like those type of Batman animated shows, you're going to really like this. Those are my thoughts and opinions. Let me know down below what y'all think. Are y'all watching Batman the Cape Crusader? If you already watched it, let me know your comments down below what you thought about it. And now I'm out. Peace.